Oh yeah. Um, I needed to start recording before I start the session. So yeah, good evening everybody. I am sorry I came late. So it's not my intention. I've been trying to, battle this network issue of a thing. But I think it's better. I can see myself now on my screen and it is smooth. Like I am happy. Come on. Hey God. I've usually been suffering for the past like couple of days now, and soon as today's like going to be the best stream, like as regards being smooth and all of that. But I'm sorry I came late. It was not my intention. Yeah. Yes. So my name is Paul again. If you know me, my name is Paul. If you do not know me, my name is Paul. And this is my ninth day of my 100 days of cloud security. I've been doing this for the past 9 days, 8 days. Today is my ninth day, and I've been learning on the stream. So basically, I called this stream learning in public. So this is just me, the stream, learning in everybody's faces, making the mistakes in everybody's faces, and just doing my thing. And I'm super excited. I thought, oh, I was not going to like, I thought I was not going to be able to like survive 100 days, but time flies. Today's the ninth day, tomorrow will be the 10th day. Like that. I'll count 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and then 100, right? So, let me pull this back to my screen so that it doesn't interrupt what I'm about to do. Yeah. So if you have maybe issues with my stream today, please help me fix in the comments. Just call me out in the comment section. I'll try as much as possible to to fix it. My audio is clear. My audio is actually clear. I do not know why you have issues with the audio, because I always have like an earplug in my hair to monitor the audio. So um I need to do one more thing. I need to do one more thing. Mm, 1 second, please. Okay. 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 Yeah. So I'm like my video feed here, my YouTube studio is like on my screen here, so I can view exactly what is going on, right? So yesterday I was able to go through the fundamentals. Yesterday and the day before, I was able to go through the fundamentals of cloud security, and it was fun. I tell you, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it. I was able to refresh my memories about things that I initially forgot already, and I am really really glad I did. So I want to pull up my notes. I want to pull up my notes so that I can share it with us, so I can go through, like, do a revision of what I did yesterday. Then okay, so for the records I use Obsidian. That's what I use. Yep. So I did fundamentals of cloud fundamentals, talked about shared responsibility model, which is a framework of responsibility between the users and the CSPs, cloud service providers. So CSPs are responsible for securing data centers, physical equipment, and all of the one. The customers are responsible for securing everything that exists inside of their cloud-hosted application or data. Then talked about the cloud models, IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, and FaaS, overlapping responsibilities where both parties, the CSP and the user meets, right? Then talked about AWS shared responsibility model, GCP shared responsibility model, and GCP's shared fates versus the shared responsibility, and Azure's shared responsibility model. And I talked about the challenges of shared responsibility models, and I got to know of a guy which I cannot remember what his name is anymore, but the guy works with Wiz, I guess. JCP, class fundamentals, no. So, oh yeah, and I learned what SLAs are. So SLAs, which means service level agreement, is an agreement between two parties, where one is the customer and the other one is service provider. Yep. So I will just move on to what I have today. And today I would be considering I'm coming let me I want to pull up my to-do list. So I was able to talk about let me make this bigger. Can I increase the font size? No, I can't. But yeah, I did shared responsibility models, and today I'll be looking at IAM across clouds. So I was able to find a resource by Tenable or Tenable, right? And they own Nessus, if I am right. They own Nessus. Let me confirm. Exactly. I know they own Nessus, right? So Nessus is a vulnerability scanner, right? I used to use it back then when I was still, you know, but that's their own Nessus. So I'm going to be going through one of their blogs, one of their cloud security blogs. I never knew these guys were, heavy on cloud security, and at some time in my like at some point in my life, I used to like be so grateful that I used to I take certain decisions not just based on you know following the trend. I have my ways of not following trend and doing the right thing. It was like quite hard switching to cloud security when I knew that there are not so much resources in cloud security. But then I had to like just move. I had to like shift with the flow. I understood the fact that everybody, like most companies, are like shifting their data to the cloud, and they would definitely at some point need cloud guys, like cloud security guys. So you can go and check my YouTube video, the very first video that I released. uh I talked about why I was transitioning to the cloud, right, and how my journey is going to be. So I do not expect my journey to be super super smooth and all. You get, but you get the vibe, yeah. So let me pull. I'm going to have to do it this way. I'm going to split and put obsidian, obsidian. This is obsidian. Yeah. How do I get rid of this? I need to get rid of this. Oh, is this what will waste my time again today? Let's just move on. I just want to move on. Okay. So I will create a new folder, and I'm going to title it IAM in the cloud is what I think I am working on today. IAM across clouds. So let me just pull this. This is gonna be my topic. So I'm gonna do then gonna paste this across clouds. So I'll add my first notes inside. Oh, okay. So this is a blog by Tenable, right? It's called AWS, Azure, and GCP. These guys are like the big three, right? Then the ultimate IAM comparison. So AWS versus Azure versus GCP. How do these cloud providers compare when it comes to IAM? So to start with, IAM is one of the most important yet complicated layers of cloud security. To add insults to injury, each major cloud providers, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform, handles IAM differently, requiring requiring cloud security professionals to learn different capabilities, restrictions, and terminology when managing IAM in a given environment. So let me go to this guy again and let's talk about IAM. So IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. It's basically the system and controls and policies that controls who can access what and what they can access, what they can do with what they accessed, right? So who can access your resources, your identity, and what they can do with these resources. So I think I want to pull this. What is IAM? Um so that's basically a system and policy. There are systems and policies. Hi bro. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I would have called your name. I Okay. So policy, there's controls who can access what and what can be done with the what, right? So who can access what and what can be done with the what. Okay, so AWS calls it IAM, right? Azure calls it Entra ID, formerly Azure Active Directory, and Google calls it Cloud IAM. Network actually pulled me out earlier, so I'm just gonna pull this, then paste it here. So these are like my key points here, and I enjoy reading my books that way, pulling out key points. So core IAM functions include authentication, of course, which is verifying who you are, um, authorization, deciding what you're allowed to do, and auditing, logging and reviewing access activities for security compliance. So it says, think of IAM as Um, think of IAM like the bouncer and the rule book of your cloud or network. It checks ID, decides who gets in, and makes sure no one is doing things they are not meant to do. So that makes sense. So this is basically what IAM is. So um let me go back to the notes. So let's begin. In this post, we provide the ultimate IAM overview, comparing AWS, Azure, and GCP. After reading this blog post, you would have foundational understanding of IAM cloud security of major providers. For okay, you can okay. So these are the things that they want to talk about, or I'm going to be going through in the blog. So our resources are structured in the cloud. Our permissions are listed and assigned in the cloud. Um, access use cases, which is user access management and service access management. Pitfalls to look out for and guardrails. Okay, so let me continue. So this is a new topic here. How resources are structured in the cloud. So cloud resources are all of the tools and applications that makes up a cloud computing environment. This includes the server, the database, the data storage components, and more. And understanding the structure to understand is more important to understanding how permissions are assigned and should be managed. So um, let's look at how each cloud provider structures its cloud resources. Okay, so in AWS, the main container is called an AWS account, which is like majorly the root. Is the root account, which can be set up and used to provision resources. Enterprises usually have multiple AWS accounts and can be consolidated using AWS organizations as an AWS cloud native service. So the question of how many accounts should be managed by a single AWS organization unit is of constant debate in the InfoSec community. For example, some subscribe to the notion that one account is enough for all stages, such as development, staging, and production, while others prefer one account for each stage of an application. In the latter case, for example, one account would cover application one for its development, staging, and production environment, and another account will cover application two for its development, staging, and production environment. The root ROC is the parent container for all the organizational accounts. So let me zoom in on this. So there's the root account and there is the organizational units, and under them they have AWS accounts. Okay. So I need to pull my notes from that. I need to pull my notes from that. So um can I create another one under this? Let me just put it like this. As resource structure in AWS. So the main container is called AWS account, which can be set up and used to provision resources. right? So I can say I can okay. Then there is this entire argument here, this debate, which I'm not going to be pulling because I understand what it means and what exactly was going on. But I need to pull this because this is also a key point. This is also a key point. Yeah. So let me go to. Um, oh, I think I want to rename this to just resource structure. So let me say Control C, then Control B. Then if I do 2, 3 resource structure, I hope that is right. Okay, let me say um, in AWS, right? So I'm just gonna pull this Control C, and I'll pull this here. Okay, so okay, so I would say I'll copy this again and come down and say in Azure, in Azure, then I'm gonna say in AWS. Then there's this one in Azure. Then it says unlike AWS, Azure and GCP employ a role-based access control. That is where you give each of the roles their own duties to do their own functions, right? So they do RBAC, and which relies on a more method, method, methodical structure of resources. At the primary level, Azure provides a basic resource container, the resource group, and each resource group contains okay each resource group container groups all the resources meant for one specific application, so they can be provisioned and deprovisioned together. So a container that can hold resource a container that can hold resource group is a subscription. I'm definitely going to pull that. Is a subscription. If you're just joining, thank you very much for coming around. So then a container that can hold subscriptions is the management group, and it can also hold other management groups in the nested structure. So I'm just going to pull this and pull it here. I'm going to pull it here. So multiple management group consists of a root management group, and in Azure, a group, a subscription is also the billing unit. It's also the billing unit. Okay. A subscription. Okay, so just to recap what's here. I have a container that can hold resource groups is a subscription, and a container that can hold and that can hold subscriptions is a management group, which can also hold other management group in a nested structure. And in AWS, a subscription is also the billing unit. So let me do this one for GCP. In GCP, right? So in GCP, the basic container is the project, which contains the resource the resources for a single application. A folder is a container that can aggregate several projects. The folder consists of a nested structure all the way up in the organizational tiers, and in GCP, the project is also the billing unit. They did not mention anything about billing units for AWS. So in Azure, the subscription is the billing unit, and in GCP, the project is the billing unit. So I'm going to, pull this like this. I think I need to pull everything. I need to pull everything so I can easily just. So the basic container is the project and which contains the resources for a single application. So the folder is a container that can aggregate several projects. Subscriptions, a container that can hold resource groups is a subscription in AWS. A basic container is a project. A folder is a container that can aggregate several projects. Okay. So in GCP, the project is a billing unit, and the subscription is the billing unit for Azure. Control B. Yep. Please, if you can hear me or you have difficulties hearing me, please let me know in the comments. I mean in the chat, so that I can easily adjust. Thank you very much. So talking about resource structure in AWS, Azure, and GCP. So they said while the Azure and GCP RBSA models imitate the organizational structure, AWS provides less structure and fewer management capability in its in its resource structure. This will be important later when setting permissions across different levels. Okay. Okay. So there is how permissions. I'm coming. I'll go through the. Okay. Okay. So our permissions are. Where are you? Our permissions are listed and assigned in the clouds. Is gonna be another. Come on. Okay. So I will need to create another note and say our permissions are listed and assigned in the clouds. So I'm just gonna paste it here. Assigned through permission documents, policies for AWS. Um, these documents depict which users and entities have access to which resources according to the policies. Each cloud provider enables admins to manage their own permission documents or offer permission documents that it itself manages. Okay, so in I need to pull this through a permission document, which is basically just it. Then listen permissions in AWS. Let me copy this and pull it here. So in AWS, the permission document is called the IAM policy. I know of this one. It's called the IAM policy. Then let me control B. Includes the details of permission and the resources in the same JSON file. So permission like policies in IAM policies in AWS are written in a JSON file. That's JavaScript if I'm correct. Um, so there's an example here. There's an example here, and it states the version, the statement. So if you look at this effect, you see that um, this particular whoever is assigned this policy, whoever account or person is assigned this policy, as a as a permission to work around S3 buckets, S3 generally, and S3 objects lambda, and it has a wildcard which is the resources. So there's like low limits when it comes to S3 or S3 buckets. There's no limit to what it can do in this particular summary. And there is the policy ARN here, and there is the description. So what's this one? Okay, now the description says it provides full access to all buckets via AWS console. So it has like it has no restrictions, or it has no limits to what it can do as regard buckets or S3 buckets in the management console. So there are ways you can also assign, aside from you can set up IAM policies without having to write codes, right? I think they are called templates that we can use to write the codes. I mean that we can use to assign these permissions, these policies to accounts. Yep. So this means there is no decoupling of resources that the identity is granted access to, and the actions that the permissions allows the identity to perform. Both are managed in one document. So this document contains every of those things. So this is basically the same thing for, this is just it for AWS. And from what I think I know, you can assign more than one policy to an identity. You can assign multiple policies to an identity. So it includes, hey brother, how's it going, bro? So you can easily just paste this in. Okay, thank you very much. So this means that there is no okay, I have gone press this. So do I pull, should I just pull, I'm thinking of pulling this. Let me pull this, let me just pull this so that I can have it as a sample in my notes. I enjoy keeping proofs in my notes. So let me just copy this. Okay. So I am, for those that are just joining, I am working. I'm trying to like learn IAM across all cloud, across the major three cloud platforms. Yeah. So I am using a blog post by Tenable, the makers of Nessus. If you remember what Nessus is, right? So I am using a blog. It's more of an educative blog though, because it is like packed and detailed. That's what I'm using. So listing permissions in Azure. As I said maybe a couple of days ago, I have not really used Azure before, so this is just me just going through the theory before I begin to touch the practicals and all. So unlike AWS, Azure lists the permissions. The list of permissions is decoupled from resources. The resources for which a permission assignment would apply is called a scope. I'm going to pull this and paste, right? So it's called a scope. Control B, yeah. So the resources for which a permission assignment would apply is a scope. For example, a scope can be a resource or a container of resources, and containers of resources can comprise other containers of resources. In addition, because Azure follows RBAC permission, it enables inheritance. If a role is at a higher scope, it has wider sets of permission. That makes sense. This is really, to me, this is really points that I understand. So I'm just gonna pull the entire statement to ChatGPT to understand better. So in this particular stream, I am not teaching in this stream. I am just learning and I am thinking aloud. So most of the things I am saying are from what I understand from what it is that I am reading. Do you understand? So this is not me teaching. I am not teaching. I'm also learning, right? Which one should I pick? Okay, let me pick this one. Okay, so in AWS IAM, when you give permissions, you always attach them directly to a specific thing, like an S3 bucket, EC2 instance, and the likes. So I want to paste this here. So in Azure IAM via RBAC, RBAC means role-based access control. The permission of my for everything inside, right, and inside, right, and so if you allow someone to read at a if you allow someone to read at a subscription level, level, um they can read every, no need to set it on each one individually. So it says I should think of it like I should think of it like okay, I think I'm back again, but it's not like super stable. It's not really super stable. So I'll just manage till I'm done with this session and find something better to do. Okay. So I asked it for the diagram showing AWS versus Azure IAM permission structure, so I would understand better. But network is not letting me pull it like easily, which is spinning me. I tell you. But let's move on. Let's move on. So okay. So this is an example of the permission in AWS. Sup, brother? How's it going? Okay. So I want to just read the. Oh no, I'm not building anything. I am actually learning in public. So this is me. I'm currently doing a, yeah. So I am not building. I am learning in public. There are days I'm definitely going to like maybe build one or two things on the stream, but right now I'm just learning. I'm learning the fundamentals of cloud security. So presently today I'm going through three cloud providers. We have the AWS, the Azure, and Google's cloud platform. So I'm just trying to like go through IAMs, IAM, like study IAM again over with the available block that I have in front of me. So yeah, Sultan, if you have this is a cloud security stream, yeah. So you can easily like pull semi resources. I'm on Twitter, I'm on LinkedIn and TikTok as well. So you can maybe just drop maybe an email or something. You can find my email in my description, channel description. So you can, what's it called? You can send me back again. You can let me confirm again if it's. You can let me confirm again if it is still, if the stream is still lagging. It is still, if the stream is still lagging. And the network was a little bit stable. The network was like a little bit stable when I came on. It was a little bit stable. Like it was like super. When I started, the stream was like smooth up until now, and I'm like so pained. Honestly, I'm so pained. So let me pull this here. just fine. Okay, so you can see my face here. Um, I'm unable to like do stuffs now for use. Okay, so please just bear with me. I've been trying to like find a fix for this network for like some days now, and I've not gotten any, like no fix. I don't know what's going on. I have like four different internet routers in this particular place where I am, and none of them is like working as it should. Let me just continue. Them is like working as it should. Let me just continue. Actually, let me just continue. Actually, let me just continue. So listing permissions in just gonna pull this. Then GCP also separates permissions from resources in the document. Named rows similar to Azure does not list resources. It is the responsibility of the cloud security engineer or IT. It is the responsibility of the cloud security engineer or IT to place this by putting the files in a GCP project or folder. In GCP, the resources for which a permission assignment would apply is called a scope. Which can be for example or similar to Azure actually. So I'm just gonna pull, yeah. So because GCP follows RBAC, it also enables. Man, I'm so cooked tonight. I tell you. What warning is this? Wait to I don't a warning inside of my OBS, right, that there's something like wrong with the stream. But okay. Okay, it's just saying YouTube is not receiving enough enough video to maintain streaming smooth streaming. I'm almost done by the way. I'm almost done by the way. I'm actually almost done. Because I need this guy to like if it doesn't do if I refresh it again and it still doesn't work, I'm just gonna like end the stream for this night, then I'll continue from here tomorrow. Like wow. I think this is just gonna be the end for me this night. I think this is just gonna be the end for me this night. I tell you, this is like just gonna be the end for me this night. So basically by the time you're watching this video, right? When you're watching this video, by the time you're watching this video, right? When you're watching this video will like would lag like a lot. It's actually would lag. And I might maybe just because I'm actually recording this session, right? I'm recording this session because I learned my lessons like 2-3 streams ago, and and I am recording. So I might maybe just upload day 9 today's stream as a video, watch it, and you know, be able to watch it without the lags because I would not have any of the lags while recording. Do you understand? So um I really want to say a very big thank you to everybody that's been supporting me since the very first day. And today's the ninth day, tomorrow is the 10th day. I'm always on stream every every evening by 8 o'clock Nigerian time. If you are maybe in India, right, or maybe Middle East Asia, right, it's probably gonna be around Middle East Asia, right. It's probably gonna be around midnight for you guys. And if you are maybe some places, you'll be in the afternoon right now. So I just want to say a very big thank you for coming out today. And please do well to follow me on ZeteoSec, and I'm on TikTok on, I think my username is ZeteoSec, ZeteoSec, right? I want to say a very big thank you for showing up again, because you guys showing up, you guys turning up for me is like, it's one of the that keeps me pushing, and it pushes me to keep pushing, right? And yes, so I'll be live again tomorrow by 8 Nigerian time, WAT, and I would continue from where I stopped, which is access use cases. So basically today I was able to like go through IAM in across all of the cloud platforms, cloud provider platforms, and I had to like refresh my memories, because there's no point doing security or something. There's no point guide. I'm taking my time to understand the basics. So um and don't forget to support me on Ko-fi. I'm on Ko-fi, or I have my link attached, so you can easily support me, support the stream, right? Yeah, thank you very much. Till tomorrow. Do have a great day ahead. Thank you.